I, 29M, don't know how to deal with a 29F on a really unusual situation. Why is she like this and how to deal with it? I, 29M, started seeing a girl, 29F, that's extremely closed up. I took her virginity and I truly believe that she likes me, but she doesn't take initiative, doesn't talk about us, doesn't let go what she is feeling, even though I tried talking to her about it and she agreed on trying to be a bit more participative. I'm on a dead end on trying to understand where this behavior is coming from and how to either fix the situation or letting her go as gently as possible. Greetings everyone. I apologize in advance for such a long text, but I didn't want to leave any details out, since I might be overlooking something. I'm a 29M, and I've gotten myself in a pretty weird, to me, situation with a 29F. We work at the same company, but we don't work with each other. We happen to see each other occasionally in the building, but never got to get to know each other, just some minor hallway or elevator small talk. About 3 months ago we started texting each other, about stuff unrelated to work, and I wasn't really interested in her in any way by then. I thought she was good looking, but I wasn't flirting or anything. And to my surprise she was incredibly invested in talking to me and getting to know me, asking all sorts of personal questions. But it's important to state that she never flirted or made any advances on me, just plain texting with a lot of questions about me involved. It turned out that we have a lot in common, we both enjoy most of the same stuff, have similar interests and values, and so on. After about 2 weeks of texting every single day, I tried to make some advances and flirt with her, but she didn't really respond to my flirting, she just kinda dismissed it or laughed it off and went on with our regular texts. After that I decided to be more direct and asked her out, to see what's what, and she immediately accepted it. That's when things started to get weird, as in I've never dealt with someone like this before, kind of weird. We went on our first date, I took her out for dinner on a nice place, and it went incredibly well. We got along, chatted nonstop the whole night, and then we made out when I was dropping her off at her house. After we made out, I jokingly said she is hard to flirt with since she does not flirt back and that I got kinda confused about what was going on. She laughed it off and said, it's how I am, without adding much context. We then agreed to go on a second date, and to try and make her more participative, I asked her to decide when and where, and she agreed to it. After that her level of investment on our texting plummeted, she started taking ages to answer, she stopped bringing in new topics for us to talk about, stopped sharing stuff about her daily life and got evasive every time I tried to talk about us, like a next date, she would plainly not respond or just laugh it off. I was confused as F***ck but I assumed that she actually didn't enjoy our date as much as I did, so I kinda let it go and went on with my life. We kept texting but I didn't make any more advances, it was slowly dying off. 2 weeks after the first date, the subject of a next date arose naturally, and she said that she was really scared to propose a place for us to go because she was afraid I might not like it. What? Even though I found that really weird, I tried to calm her down, said that I wasn't really going out with her for the place, and asked her if she wanted me to pick the place. She said yes, and I planned everything once again. We got out on a second date and once again we got off really well. 2 important facts arose this night. When we were dining, she said that she never had a serious relationship in her life, which I found very odd given that she is really pretty and is almost 30. I'm basically the most serious she has ever gotten with someone. For some more context, I had 3 girlfriends in my life, one being an 8-year relationship which ended in 2021. I dated multiple girls over the years but never someone like her. After dining, we were making out in the car, things got a bit more sexual and we did stuff, no sex yet, and in the middle of it she said that she never had done that kind of stuff before. I was once again very surprised and confused, due to her age and how well she was handling it, I was certain she had prior experience, but I shook it off and played it cool so it wouldn't make her nervous or self-conscious. When I was dropping her off at her house, I preemptively asked her out again and she immediately accepted it. We scheduled to go out on the very next weekend. During the week she was still very distant, and she stopped interacting with me when we stumbled on each other at work. Like looking away and pretending I'm not there. Weird. Fast forward to the next weekend, I picked her up, we went out to dine, and once again we got along really well. After dining I suggested we go to my place, and she agreed to. Once we got there, things got sexual again and when we were about to have sex, she said she was still a virgin. I had already assumed so after our second date, so I just asked her if she wanted to do it, and she said yes. I took her virginity, and after that we laid out in bed cuddling and I tried to make her open up to me a bit more, since at that point she never opened up to me at all. She said that she had a thing for me since she first saw me at work but wasn't going to make a move because of how she is. She said that her parents and all her friends know that she is seeing me and that they are cheering for us. Found this part a bit unusual but okay. She was also very self-conscious over her lack of experience in bed. I didn't climax so she was very apologetic, but I tried my best to assure her that it wasn't a big deal, that I was more worried about her having a great time since it was her first time. I then asked her about that second date where she was afraid I wasn't going to like her place of choice, to try and work on it, and she said that she overthinks things way too much and she can't control it. I tried to ease on her by saying that I wasn't really interested in the places we would go on, that I was interested in her, so she shouldn't worry about me not liking the place or not, and that I just wanted to know she wanted to see me. Since she never made a move, never flirted back, never asked me out, it seemed I was the only one invested in it and she was just going along with it. So once again I proposed her to try again to pick a place for our next date, but to make things easier for her we agreed she would pick a couple of different places and the final choice would still be mine. We went on and talked a lot, and I thought things would finally move more naturally after the sex and after our talk, but I was dead wrong. I dropped her off at her house, reminded her that she doesn't need to worry about anything and that I would wait for her places of choice for us to go to. After that she became even more evasive and distant, started taking even longer to respond texts, sometimes 48h or so. It would be faster to send a letter, and it has been over a month since we last met on a date. We do stumble at each other at work, but she pretends I'm not there, so there isn't much I can do. When texting, she says things like, when we meet again, and makes plans but hasn't touched the subject of the next date at all. I was trying to give her time and space, so it wouldn't make her nervous, self-conscious or anything, but I'm beginning to lose my patience. I like her, but I'm starting to lose interest, and I also don't want to be a dick, especially since I took her virginity and I know she is inexperienced in dating. If not for that I would have already stopped responding to texts and let it die off. The reason I'm here is to ask for input on why she is behaving this way and what I could possibly do to either fix this or to let her go as gently as possible, or even if you guys think I should fix it or leave it. I truly believe that she wants to keep seeing me, but she won't open up at all, she won't talk about us, she never takes the initiative, texting has become dull, uninteresting, and more of an obligation to me. It seems really unnatural now. I tried to bring that her opening up subject again this week, over text, and her response was only, I don't think so, it takes a long time for me to open up. What? How do you know that if you never had a remotely serious relationship before? I'm frankly tired of doing everything and feeling like I'm on an emotional roller coaster, and I'm torn because I also don't want to be a dick in case I'm overlooking or misreading something.